If you've been at the internet at all, you've probably seen the Backrooms. With its vast, endless corridors, its utter randomness, or its just distinct beauty but eeriness. So with all this in mind, I decided to build the Backrooms, and I just chose to build the first level, aka level 0, but enough of wasting your time, let's get to building. So during the process, I'm gonna explain how I build certain things. So right now, let's just kind of, put down the floor because, how are you supposed to, build the back rooms without a floor? Of course, you need to have a floor. And this is gonna take a little too long, so I need to speed things up a little. And yes, this process of me, building all the blocks or AK placing it down for the floor did take a little long, so I have to speed up a little the footage, and I ain't trying to bore them, y'all, or make y'all bored. So yeah, I'm gonna just continue, showing a little satisfyingness, speeding up a little. Even though the footage is still some sped up, it's still taking a little too long. I might have to, improvise and not show y'all the whole entire thing of, me building all of this. Wait, I just realized I don't have to show all this. I could just, cut the footage. Yeah, after a quick cut, there we go. With the power of editing, I don't have to do this, bro. I love, just cutting the videos. But now let's just start with, actually making a design. So if you don't know, the backrooms is not connected, so it's not a maze. It's kind of this pattern where it's an open maze, and sometimes in the backroom it generates, super clumped walls, or it's either super open. So I'm trying to replicate the in-between part. I'm gonna, do the semi-open but semi-closed. Mostly okay, a little more closed, so you don't see that much openings. But I'm gonna just show you the progress of me just putting random designs of floors and patterns to randomize it. And of course I can speed up the clips, to show how I'm building all this stuff. And yes, I'm just kind of placing random stuff. It's literally, you could do it however you want. That's how random the backrooms is. Because well, how are you supposed to know exactly? It's just complete randomness. Right there, it kind of looked like I built a question mark. This is kind of taking a little too long, so just gotta improvise by adding random shapes. So yeah, this is my current progress right now. I mean, it's not bad, but I can keep on adding. So eventually, it kind of gets a little dark, so I have to keep on, getting a little faster. But oh yeah, if you're wondering, sometimes it's an overlay and sometimes it's not overlay. Well, I don't even know. Okay, so now just from all these shapes I have, eventually it starts to get filled in, more and more. And it kind of just gets its generic shape of the backrooms. Okay guys, after just finishing all the layers and doubling the blocks with their height, I kind of got this is kind of the rough open shape. I don't know, yeah, it looks cool. Maybe, I don't know, it's up to debate, but this is what I roughly have. Who honestly needs to show the whole progress of me, filling in the roof? I could just use my, powerful cheat codes. I'm just playing. I could just use the power of, certain mods, not even mods, it's just in-game stuff, to fill things faster. So it's kind of the progression of me, filling in the roof faster. Looking down at this section is starting to look creepy, even though there's no lights. This already looks very eerie. Yo, this is actually starting to look very unique. And also, something y'all don't appreciate is I build all this stuff in a PlayStation. That's kind of a flex. And yeah, it's time to add some lights. And yeah, these lights of course are gonna fill in the roof, because of course it's gonna be all dark. What would you expect? I need to add lights. And oh my gosh, I just realized I need to connect all this stuff with redstone. Wait, I just realized I don't need to flick all this lever and stuff. Let me check in the inside. Yeah, it looks decent. Wait, I just realized I could just auto, build it. And yeah, there we go. Just from, the thing, just filling it on its own. I don't even have to build. There, it just puts the lights for me on its own. This looks kind of cool though. It's like, it's eventually like a wave of it getting filled in. And like, tell me now, like, ain't this a little interesting? Like, I don't get how none of y'all watch my videos. Like, literally, what Minecraft YouTuber on a PlayStation does this? Yeah, and here's all the ways, the redstone kind of intertwines. It kind of looks very cool. and it's like a very, unique, process. This honestly, I don't know, this, it looks cool. Like if you just honestly just like fly around like this, it just kind of feels weird how it could just randomly spawn in on its own. And if you're wondering, yes, I copy and pasted a roof build I already made earlier, and I just overlaid it on top. So don't think I just, I'm magically summing it in now. But yeah, this looks cool, when I see with the lights, I wonder how this looks like. That looks kind of eerie, how it just randomly turns on its own. That's kind of cool, in my honest opinion. I don't know about y'all. Y'all are probably some haters, aren't y'all? After I 100%, built all those lights, I actually did. I just pasted on the top. But, we got this, our final result of the Backrooms. But you're forgetting one thing. Oh, you thought it's the end of the video? No, 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 no. You see, in ZPR45, we don't just simplify things. We expand things in the coolest way possible. So, you know how the Backrooms is infinite? Well, what do you think I'm about to do? So yes, you got our base floor, this looks interesting. Yes, it looks cool. But, I kind of, expanded it a little now, and it's a little wider. I don't know if you kind of noticed, but it's a little wider, Of course, you're not going to notice the difference. It's kind of, you guys are never paying attention. But yeah, now it looks a little bigger. So now when you walk around, it feels, more immersed in the environment. It's, less, empty, and it's actually more filled. Yes, don't mind the open air over there. Of course, I'm not done making infinite. What do you expect? You think I'm gonna instantly build it that fast? No. Half an hour later, and we got this. And don't even ask how fast I built this. But yeah, this is what I roughly got, and this is very laggy because how much Backrooms I built. This is kind of a representation of infinite height and infinite width. Of course, it's not infinite. It's like hundreds of millions of square miles of just endless corridor, but it's kind of replicating like that. So yeah, if I just fly in right here very quick, you could kind of see how filled it is now. You can honestly run around and see how filled it is. Like if you look around, you could honestly just spin around like 100 times, and you could lose track where you're at. Like literally, this is how big it is. Okay, flying to an open air point, let's see how big it is. Whoa, I just realized, I didn't even realize how big, and there's still walls. Oh my, and it's still loading, eh? It's not even done loading. But yeah, this is what I kind of have. Is this a little too much? Am I doing too much, y'all? Y'all probably don't even care, even though I'm literally building this on a PlayStation. PS4, by the way, not even PS5. I'm running all this premium stuff on here. But yeah, this looks cool. But yeah, this is well, yeah, kind of what the views kind of look like in a cooler angle. That actually looks amazing. Well, yeah, time to wrap up the video. But yeah, this is basically what I built on a PlayStation, by the way, and y'all don't care, and I get no views for any of this. Wow, 100%. But yeah, just let me know if you want me to survive in the Backrooms for my next video, and yeah, that's basically it. This is ZPR45, aka your Spartan YouTuber. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope y'all have a blessed day. And peace out, y'all. Bye.